Hello, hello. Welcome to Goals with Purpose. We are starting the second day of the program, and today is my favorite part of it because we're going to talk about something called flow. But before I get into it, let's recap and see what's on the agenda for today. So yesterday we discussed considering your goal. So I want you to start thinking about what is the right goal for you. You were also to identify unconscious resistance, things that are barriers to change. What is standing in your way? Today, we're going to discuss a strategy to change your mindset and to get you in the right frame of mind so that you can achieve your goals. So, anytime you want to change something in your life, you must change your mindset because without this, change is almost always impossible. So, how do you change your mindset? You change your thoughts, your ideas, your perceptions about a specific situation. You take a negative and you turn it into a positive. And it's something that I like to call the mind swap. So let me tell you what the mind swap is. It is your ability to change self-doubt or negative emotions with positive thoughts, emotions, and feelings. So basically, you are going to swap out the bad for the good. So let me give you a little example. You know that mind chatter, that internal dialogue you have with yourself that sometimes gives you negative thoughts and emotions? Maybe those thoughts are telling you, it's too cold to go to the gym. Tomorrow will be different. I'm too tired to deal with it right now. I'll do it tomorrow. I will start on Monday. But we all know when you say that, Monday never comes. So let's quiet the mind chatter and let's swap a negative thought for a more positive thought. Let me give you an example. Instead of saying probably, swap it for it's a possibility. Instead of I can't, let's swap it for I can. And instead of can I, swap it for how can I? You see, simple changing your mindsets and your thought process can have a really big impact. Now, we all know there's a lot of obstacles, and I asked you to identify some of those barriers for you that are stopping you from achieving your goal. So a lot of these obstacles include things like time, procrastination, the need for instant gratification. We want it now. Misinformation. Oh, Lordy, we know there's a lot of false information out there. Limited finances. Overthinking your goal. Overwhelm. And your pride. You don't want to fail at achieving something, so maybe you don't set that goal so you don't have to fail. So let's look at the mind swap with some of the common obstacles that get in the way of achieving a goal. So let's swap it's too overwhelming for I will break it down into more manageable tasks. How about if we swap I'm too busy with I will schedule time? Swap I will start tomorrow with I am doing it today. Simple yet effective strategies to change the mindset. Now, the state of flow, which I am so excited to tell you about. A person can make himself or herself happy or miserable, regardless of what is actually happening outside, just by changing the contents of consciousness. This was written by a man named Mihai, and I cannot say that last name, so I'm just going to tell you his first name, Mihai. So through his own observations post-World War II, Mihai was curious about happiness and contentment, and what he found is that happiness is an internal state, and that happiness levels can be shifted through introduction of more flow. So flow is a state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. The experience is so enjoyable that people will continue to do it even at great cost for the sheer sake of doing it. I'm going to give you an example of a flow that I absolutely love, and it's yoga. So for years, I did yoga, but I didn't really get it, and I didn't like it, and I did it just because I thought I should do it because all the cool people in my gym were doing yoga. And then I went through a time in my life where there was a lot of uncertainty. I had lost somebody that I really cared for. I wasn't happy in my job. I was stressed. I wasn't eating the right foods because I was working 12 to 14-hour days. I wasn't hitting the gym. I was just not happy. I was very unfulfilled. And so I went to a new yoga studio, and actually it's American yoga where I practice today, and I found my flow. With the people that are there and the motivation and the support, I started to get yoga. I started to understand why I wanted to do this. And I became so involved in yoga that nothing else mattered because it brought me joy and contentment. It brought me fulfillment. And so I started setting goals. I wanted to get better at yoga. I wanted to do inversions. I wanted to teach yoga. And so now I teach yoga, and I teach other people how to incorporate yoga to make them happy. I am working on my PhD, and I just completed an intervention using yoga and nutrition to increase quality of life in breast cancer survivors. So yoga brought me fulfillment to the point where I am sharing it with others. And this, my friend, is what I want you to find in your goal. So you have to set the right goal to find that internal happiness and contentment. Now, there's 8 steps to flow. The first one is complete concentration of the task, clarity of goals with reward in mind and immediate feedback, transformation of time, the experience of intrinsically rewarding, effortless and ease. There is a balance between challenge and skill. Actions and awareness are merged, losing self-conscious rumination. And there is a feeling of control over the task or goal. So take a look at the words that are bolded: concentration, clarity of goals, time, rewarding, effortless, challenge and skill, losing self-conscious, control. All of these words are going to bring you fulfillment. So if you have a goal in mind and you are going to concentrate on that goal, you are going to make it happen. And as you progress through that goal, you're going to find reward. And the more rewarding that goal becomes, the less effort. And you're not going to care about what anyone else thinks because that goal is bringing you contentment and happiness. And I want to talk to you about challenge and skill because it is extremely important. So when the challenge is bigger than one's skill level, one becomes anxious, stressed, and distracted. So yesterday I had mentioned that we move away from things that bring us pain. We don't like to feel uncomfortable. So if your goal is bigger than you can meet, you need to break it down into smaller goals. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So having a big goal is good, but trying to achieve that big goal right out the gate is not going to help you. It's actually going to bring anxiety and stress, and you're going to move away from that goal. Now, when the skill exceeds the size of the challenge, one becomes bored and distracted. You don't want to do it anymore. It's not challenging enough. Maybe you didn't choose a goal that's serving a purpose in your life right now. So back in the day when I first did yoga, that was going to be my goal. I'm going to get good at yoga, but I hated it. So I didn't go. I stayed away from it because it wasn't what was bringing me fulfillment. I did not enjoy it. It was doing nothing for me at that time. So make sure your goals are significant and fulfilling. So balance is essential in order to experience flow. And don't flow alone, my friends. Research shows that flow is more enjoyable when in a team rather than alone. That's right. Research shows that people feel more enjoyment out of an experienced flow when they engage with others. For example, when you're making dinner, cook dinner with your family. Cook dinner with your significant other. My husband and I always cook dinner together, and dinner time is really enjoyable because it's a time for us to decompress, talk about our day, strategize for tomorrow. Take a group yoga class. When we are in a group setting, we get encouragement and motivation and support from others. Maybe you join a running group. And don't forget, you joined a team when you joined this challenge. So we are all here to help motivate and guide each other so that we can meet our goals. So let's make sense of it all. Have a goal in place that makes sense to you. Identify your barriers and change your mindset, flow, and make it happen, my friend, because you are the only person that will make it happen. Tomorrow, we will break down your big goal into something that is realistic, attainable, and sustainable. So tomorrow, come with your goals, your new mindset, and get ready to flow, my friends. If you want more, leave a comment below, join me on Facebook, and together, let's make 2018 the year of health and happiness. Namaste.